No neighbors, no traffic jams, only sunsets, waves, and absolute tranquility. But these houses are not merely shelters on the water. They are true palaces, yachts of the future, architectural masterpieces for which people pay millions. Today, we are going to show you 15 of the most expensive and incredible floating houses in the world. Some of them look as though they came straight out of a science fiction movie. Others resemble hideaways for the wealthy who are tired of dry land. Before we begin, I kindly ask you to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. In return, I will delight you with new and interesting videos. Are you ready? Then let us dive in. At first glance, Odesquisito can easily be mistaken for chic apartments in a mega city overlooking the sea. But do not be deceived. This is not a coastal flat at all. It is a genuine floating home, luxurious, stylish, and supremely cozy. The architects, interior designers, and brand consultants of Squisito joined forces to create something truly unique. This house is no shack by the water, but a real aquatic refuge for those who can afford it. The hull is supported by 2 catamaran beams that provide stability, and glass and stainless steel were used in the finish. The vessel measures about 20 meters in length and almost 7 meters in width, which is quite enough for the comfortable rest of an entire family. Yet the most impressive part is inside. The upper deck is devoted to a living room, a dining area, and a hidden kitchen. Below are the bedrooms, a bathroom, and the wheelhouse. And on the terrace, you can sunbathe and relax, ascending there by an elegant spiral staircase. This waterborne dwelling, moored off the shores of Minas Gerais, is a true dream for anyone ready to spend millions for beauty and peace. Now, attention. Look at these smooth, almost wave-shaped lines. It seems as if this floating house literally merges with the ocean. It looks like something from the future, yet it is a perfectly real project in which investors already plan to invest. The estimated cost is $7 million. Would you dare to live in such a house? And what, in your opinion, does the interior look like? Write in the comments and share your thoughts. If you ever find yourself in the Sausalito area, do not be surprised to see something strikingly reminiscent of the Taj Mahal. This is the floating house of the same name. Its owner, real estate and winemaking entrepreneur Bill Harlan, was inspired by Indian architecture during a trip in the 1970s and decided to create his own interpretation of the Taj Mahal right on the water. The result is a genuine palace. Marble travertine floors, a wine cellar, a sauna, a concealed elevator, and a solarium for meditation on the upper level. More than $2 million were spent, which, adjusted for inflation, is roughly equal to $9 million today. At first, the house was used as a mini hotel, but for 40 years, it has served as a private residence. People gossiped that Harlan sold it for $850,000 in the year 1995, but in fact, he owned it until 2007. You can find this house north of downtown Sausalito at the end of Johnson Street. If you had had $350,000 in the year 2019, you could have bought the splendid floating house called Dusky Parakeet. At that time, it was birthed in St. Catherine Docks in London and offered its future owners modern, cozy accommodation right on the water. Surprisingly, buyers were not found immediately, and the sellers had to lower the price. Yet, the house was truly worthy of attention. Almost 44 square meters of living space, a vessel length of 18 meters, and a width of a little over 3.5 meters. The project was developed by the Architectural Bureau 3144 Architects, and materials that visually enlarge the space were used in the decor. The interior is finished with whitewashed Douglas fir paneling, and the floors are wide wooden boards. The kitchen will delight every cooking enthusiast. It is equipped with a built-in washing machine, a gas stove, an oven, a dishwasher, and plenty of cabinets. There is also a spacious living room with clever storage, an innovative bathroom, and a cozy cabin bedroom. In a word, a dream. And if you happen to have $270,000 under your pillow, you can invest them in buying the floating house Ginger, moored on Lake Union in Seattle. Or you can simply rent it first to see whether this lifestyle suits you. The house is located on Westlake Avenue North and offers breathtaking views of Lake Union and downtown Seattle. Inside, there is a full kitchen, a living room, and a dining area combined into one open space. Upstairs, there is an additional deck, perfect for parties. There is a spacious bedroom with a wardrobe, another sleeping area in the loft, a modern bathroom, and simply an unexpected amount of free space considering the exterior appearance. At almost 17 meters long, the house literally rivets attention, and even though it is a boat, it feels like a complete home. Rent it for a couple of days, and you may never want to return to life on dry land. Tired of the bustle of the city and looking for a quiet nook with a soul? For $845,000, you can become the owner of the incredible floating house called Cottage Atlan's Edge. This house sits in a picturesque corner of Lake Union, right under the Aurora Bridge, and seems to be nestled into a green landscape framed by trees. Its bright blue facade with white trim and a terrace that wraps around the entire house literally radiate warmth and coziness. And the glass French doors add charm. Inside, the atmosphere is no less appealing. An open plan combining kitchen and living room, ceiling beams, and a neat wood-burning stove. One side of the house looks toward land, the other toward the open water. Just walk from one room to another, and an entirely new picture unfolds before your eyes. There is a bedroom, a utility room, and a cozy attic with access to yet another terrace. But there is a nuance. Besides the price of the house, you need to pay $390 each month as a moorage fee because the dock is cooperatively owned. Still, when the views are this good, it is worth it. The era of tiny houses has arrived. More and more people are giving up villas and mansions in favor of compact dwellings. But what if you combine this trend with the chance to live right on the water? Here it is, the ideal option, Le Coroc, a floating mini house that blends eco-friendliness, convenience, and freedom. Its dimensions are 8 1/2 by 26 feet. It is powered by a solar panel that charges batteries for lighting and the refrigerator. The structure is built on tubes made of an aluminum-magnesium alloy, so strength is assured. You can purchase Le Coroc in the fishing series or in a leisure version. The price starts at $61,000. The house comes with a kitchen, a bathroom, a table, and a space that can easily be adapted as a sleeping or relaxation area. You can haul this boat on a regular trailer to any body of water your heart desires. Forget uncomfortable tents and drafts. Now your outdoor trips will be far more comfortable. If you have strolled along Westlake Avenue not far from downtown Seattle, you may already have noticed something unusual on the water. A tiny house with a bright red belly. This is Turnip, and no, we are not talking about the vegetable, but about a floating dwelling with an appearance that is hard to miss. For $190,000, you can own this original gem. It is a one-room house covering 33 square meters, and although its size is modest, everything necessary is inside. The interior exudes the spirit of the 1980s. Wooden finishes, light bamboo flooring, and round portholes connecting the rooms. There is a main bedroom and an additional sleeping place in the living room, and the bathroom boasts a genuine bathtub. Not every floating house can claim that. The kitchen, though compact, is equipped with all the necessary appliances, including a full-size refrigerator. And crowning all this splendor is a cozy roof terrace. Bring a drink, climb up, and enjoy the panorama of the harbor. That is the taste of life. Traveling around Europe is an expensive pleasure, especially if you change hotels every night. But what if you could pay for accommodation once and never think about it again? With the advent of the Nautilus houseboat, this has become reality. These floating homes were conceived by architect Andreas Hoffmann and presented at the Boat and Fun exhibition in Berlin in the year 2012, where they immediately received 2 prizes. And no wonder. These houses are officially registered as recreational vessels, which means you can travel along most of Europe's waterways. The design includes a folding gangway, a transforming roof, and even a collapsible cabin. But the main thing is space. The basic version accommodates 8 adults and 2 children on 42 square meters. And if desired, it can be expanded to 86 square meters. It is modern, practical, and incredibly convenient housing on the water, with which no hotel can compete. If you thought luxury was a cruise liner, then you simply have not yet seen the Bravada Atlas V series. This floating house pushes the boundaries of comfort on the water. Its price starts at $499,000, and it is a genuine villa afloat. The dimensions astonish: a length of up to 75 feet, a width of 22 feet. Inside, there are 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cabins, and a wheelhouse. You can easily invite all your friends and relatives. There is room for everyone. Yet luxury is not only in quantity. On board, there is a fire pit zone with designer seating, a water slide from the upper deck, and a terrace with loungers. If you wish to be alone, one of the 10 flat-screen televisions awaits you inside. A Bose sound system, satellite television, panoramic cameras, stone countertops, custom cabinets, everything is executed with perfect precision. And most important, the hull is 3 times stronger than wooden counterparts and easily copes with strain. As soon as you step aboard this colossus and hear the roar of the 2 Mercruiser V8 engines, each with 350 horsepower, you will definitely not want to return to shore. Anyone who has ever spent a weekend fishing knows, after a whole day on the water, returning to a cramped motel room is not the most pleasant prospect. That is why status luxury houseboats appeared, so that comfort would always be near you. These vessels cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and are designed with aesthetics, functionality, and comfort in mind. The company has 6 models tailored to different needs. One of the brightest is Apres, the year 2019. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2 guest zones, a spacious kitchen, and a gorgeous upper deck. And another masterpiece called Oasis will certainly attract glances. From the outside, it looks like a floating mansion of celebrities, while inside, ultra-modern solutions and clever zoning. But perhaps the most outstanding in the lineup is the model Legends of the Lake. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a huge area for formal dinners, parties, and cocktail evenings. With such vessels, you can not only relax, but throw entire celebrations on the water. Not sure whether you want to settle permanently in a floating home? There is an excellent way to find out. Rent one of the prestige houseboats in Srinagar, India. You will find plenty of offers on these houses, located on Nagin Lake, one of the calmest and most picturesque places in the region. Each house here is unique, from 2 to 4 bedrooms, private bathrooms, dressing rooms, living rooms, and dining rooms, all fully furnished. Special attention should be paid to the materials. All the houses are made of cedar, and although they have been floating for more than a century, the wood is in excellent condition. You can sunbathe on the roof, relax on the veranda, or simply watch the fish swimming below. The main charm of these houses lies in the atmosphere, silence, peace, and harmony with nature. But the architecture with history also plays no small role. These dwellings make you want not only to rent them, but to take them away forever. If by chance you have almost $3 million lying around and you dream of seeing seahorses not in an aquarium, but in real life, perhaps you should pay attention to the floating seahorse home. This project is the result of 13,000 hours of engineering and design work and 5,000 hours of research, and the result is truly impressive. The first models appeared on the market in 2015, and about 60 units were immediately sold. Later, the developers even began to create enlarged versions so that families could live comfortably in them. But even the initial models were genuine works of art. A spacious bedroom with a bathroom occupies about 25 square meters, and there is also a whole 46 square meters of an underwater coral garden. Precisely because of their location in the waters of the Persian Gulf, owners can observe seahorses in their natural environment right through the windows. Living in such a house is like being part of an underwater fairy tale. Moreover, you can jump straight into the water from the deck. All these homes are located roughly 4 kilometers from the coast of Dubai. You can reach them only by boat or seaplane. If you were to see the Fennel residence on the Willamette River, you might not even realize that it stands on water. This house looks like a work of architectural art, both outside and inside. Thanks to a special construction, hardly any water movement is felt inside, so even if you are not a fan of life afloat, here you can easily forget that you are floating at all. The house is made of curved glued beams, clad in cedar shingles and topped with a copper roof. A huge glass wall opens a breathtaking view of the river and bank, and a glass door leads to a cozy terrace. The interior is finished in light tones, white walls and many glass elements, allowing the maximum amount of natural light to enter. Unique overhead windows provide excellent ventilation. The layout here is anything but classical. The space is organized loft style, with the master bedroom situated above the living room. Almost no partitions. Everything is open, spacious, and minimalist. Seeing this ad on the internet will make you want to buy a lottery ticket. A floating mansion valued at $5.5 million makes you stop and catch your breath. This 75-foot home is birthed in Miami and literally shouts luxury. But the main feature is not its size, but its contents. More than 400 square meters of living and open space, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and yes, there is a lift for a jet ski. The house was designed by 2 French engineers, Nicolas Daril and Arnaud Luge. They built it in 2019, and already in 2020 it appeared for sale. This floating marvel of engineering fits perfectly with the Miami lifestyle. Minimalism, comfort, and endless possibilities, all in one. Well, what can one say? Simply, wow. If suddenly you have several $100 million lying around, perhaps you are already eyeing the true queen of the seas. Sailing Yacht A. This is not just a yacht. It is an engineering wonder that has gone beyond anything you have ever seen. Its length is almost 143 meters, and its weight exceeds 12,600 tons. It resembles no floating house either visually or technically. The vessel is equipped with a hybrid diesel-electric power plant, an underwater observation capsule, and ultra-modern navigation. The most spectacular feature is the 3 masts rising 100 meters above sea level. It is as though the classic sailing ships of the past were fused with the futurism of tomorrow. The project was commissioned back in 2004, and construction began in Kiel and lasted almost 4 years. Rumor has it that the final owner paid about $300 million for this maritime wonder. Yes, we have not seen inside, but looking at the exterior, it is hard to imagine that it is not worth the money. Neighbors can be a real headache. Noisy parties, parking right in front of your house, constant hum. So maybe it is time to sail away from it all and settle in your own floating home. Would you take such a step? And which of these houses would you choose for yourself? Write in the comments. Meanwhile, take a look at our other stunning videos that are appearing right now on the screen. And see you in the next episode.